Welcome to another episode of Hustle Basketball Talk. I'm joined today by professional guard Aaron Williams. Hey, Will, thank you for joining the show.
No problem, no problem. Glad I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely, man. So to start off, growing up in Chicago, what was the basketball scene like for you at a young age, and when did you really fall in love with the game?
Growing up for me, Chicago basketball was grimy, it was gritty, it was a lot of outside play. It was going to every neighborhood, playing the best players you could find on the blacktop, and um wasn't too much indoor
Yeah,
stuff going on. It was indoor stuff going on, but there was a lot of it was a lot of street ball, and you trying to prove you the best player in your neighborhood, and then if you the best in your neighborhood, you got to play the best in the other people. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of how can I put it? Basketball was a protection shield. At that time, now it was no protection shield. It's everybody's like the Wild Wild West. Anybody could get hit. That's why it's not a lot of outside play because the
yeah.
gun violence is so bad. But back then, even though it was gun violence, the basketball was kind of a protection from it. So it was fun, very hostile environment. So that's how it
For
was for me.
sure. For sure. And then, as you progressed in your career, you become a really good player in high school. What was that recruiting process like then for you coming out of high school, figuring out where you're going to go, and then ultimately going the JUCO route at Dodge City for a year?
In high school, I had a lot of mid majors. And I went to Dodge City. And Dodge City, I had University of Colorado Boulder with Deion Sanders. I had them. I had St. Bonaventure. I had Penn State. I had Boise State. I had Nebraska, Oklahoma. I had a lot of high major schools,
Yeah.
right? I decided to go to Chicago State after my freshman year because I was qualified. I had good grades, good test scores, and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
but because my recruitment got shaky in high school for whatever reason, I chose to go JUCO route. And after my freshman year, I could leave. I had to stay 2 years like the normal JUCO
Right.
recruit. So I chose Chicago State. I was told I would play point guard for 4 straight seasons and help to me get into the NBA. That was the whole purpose. Um, Things didn't go that way
Yeah.
when I got there. It was a different experience. It was school of hard knocks for me in high school and college. It was very it wasn't the typical story. A lot of people like you see guys, and no knock to them, shouts out to them, but guys like what's his name? CJ McCullum
Yeah.
going to Lehigh and having a decent career, and he said he got out the mud. That is getting out the mud going to a low level Division One, such as like Chicago State. But when you're not playing like me, a guy that I'm maybe a professional, I played nothing but top leagues in 8 different countries. I averaged 1 point and 1 rebound as a senior. I
Yeah.
only averaged for my minutes in college was only like 13 minutes a game for a whole season
Right.
on average. So it's not the it's a very, very unusual journey that I've been having. It's an underdog story. That's why my nickname is actually the dark horse, like the Black Mamba. It's the dark horse, and the dark horse means basically the guy that or the person that less likely to succeed actually does.
Yeah.
So that's you know,
And
but
what
yeah.
what advice would you give then to someone? Because I mean, you're proof, right? You're going into year nine as a pro. What advice would you give to someone who might not be getting the minutes they want, at the collegiate level, but they believe in themselves and they want to, pursue a professional career?
That's a great question. I would say really love the game
Yeah.
because there's going to be some sacrifices that come with pursuing something that's not in your favor. There's going to
Hmm.
be some sacrifices that you may not be comfortable with. So you have to ask yourself, if I want this, I can have this, but am I willing to make the sacrifices along the way, whether that's financial sacrifices, right?
Yeah.
Family sacrifices. Like it's a two-edged sword because if you're a guy, you're highly recruited, have great career, it's either you're gonna go here or you here, right? Because you already can play, you're getting paid a decent amount of money. But if you a guy like myself, right, you have to literally start from the bottom and
Yeah.
work your way back up. It's possible. It's possible, but you gotta have that real conversation with yourself. Like with me, I'm a 6'5", big guard, good athleticism, good handle, I can shoot, defend. It made sense for me.
Yeah.
right? You have to really look in the mirror like, does this make sense for me to continue to pursue? Because you don't
Right.
want to lie to yourself. You know what I'm saying? But every year could have been the last year for me. Coming out of college, I didn't know what I was gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I have a brother. Um, right now, currently, he's a strength coach for the Milwaukee Bucks, right? But throughout that journey, I had somebody pushing me, telling me, "Bro, you got what it takes. Keep going, don't stop." I had somebody behind me too. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And also, you got to just be like, okay, the next year got to make sense to keep going the next year. So that if I get drafted #1 in the NBL Canadian League draft, and it had all type of G League and high level overseas players, pros, and that. The next year I play in Albania, I kill it. Then go to Lebanon towards the end of the year. Then the next year I go to Sweden, I kill it. COVID hit. Next year I go to Ukraine with guys like DJ Stephens and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? And each year, Portugal, I keep going up. It made sense to continue.
Right.
See what I mean? So, like, really, I will give the advice. I would say, really pay attention to your situation and understand what you want out of it, the sacrifices that you're willing to take from it, and does it make sense for you to keep going?
For sure, for sure. And with your experience, right, playing in a variety of countries, variety of different play styles, right? What's the overseas game been like for you? And what have you noticed the style is like compared to, in the United States?
I would say from a Europe perspective, it's like college.
Yeah.
Europe is like college. It's very structured. It's it's not like the NBA game or the G League game was basically pick and roll and isolation. It's more plays. You might get a coach to give you 50 plays literally, and you got to remember the plays. Like
Yeah.
it's like that. And averaging, depending on what league you're in, averaging 12, 13 points is a great day
For
because you
sure.
got probably 5 different imports. But it all depends because there's so many different leagues in Europe. But it just depends on the level of the league.
For sure, for sure. And so what's the lifestyle like, when you go out, in September or whenever it is for the season and be there for 9, 10 months?
So, so I gotta ask you. So, we talking about China? We talking about Canada? We talking about
I guess,
Portugal? We
yeah,
talking
I
about
guess
Ukraine? It's all different.
it's different, right? So I guess how about this? What's been the most challenging situation and then your favorite, living situation overseas?
The most challenging situation, I would say Albania,
Okay.
because that was one of my rookie contracts,
Yeah.
and I'm in an apartment with no heat.
Oh,
I'm sleeping in my coat. I got a heater right next to me on the left side of me. You know what I'm saying? No car. You walk down the street, it's loose chickens, loose dogs, big dogs too, that'll bite you
oh wow.
everywhere. Uh, that was challenging.
Yeah.
I would say that was most challenging. Now, my favorite is Sweden.
Yeah.
Anybody that know me in Sweden, Sweden is probably one of the funnest places because, for one, it's like the States. It's like being in Chicago, but it's like being in the safest part of Chicago, and the whole country is that. You know what I'm saying? So
Awesome.
Sweden is my favorite. That's like my second home.
That's really cool, man. And what would you say is your greatest strengths on the court, that you bring to the team and, what can we expect to see from you this upcoming year?
Versatility, bro. Like versatility. If a coach need me to be a shooter, I can do that. If a coach need me to make plays, I can do that. If a coach need me to be a defender, I can do that. The versatility, one of my biggest things molded myself into a basketball player was trying to figure out what my style was. It's like boxing. You try to
Yeah.
figure out what type of style. Every fighter has a different fighting style. And every basketball player, like Kyrie, don't play like Steph. You know what I'm saying? Derrick Rose don't play like Kobe. Kobe don't play like LeBron. It's finding what was me. And so I had to really find out what my game is and mold it. But I'll say my biggest strength is just versatility. I could do pretty much everything really, really good.
That's great, man. That's a great skill to have, especially nowadays in basketball where it's kind of positionless at times. Not as much overseas, but when you could play 1 through 4, that's really big time for any team, right?
Yep.
And then, going back to hooping as a kid to now, what's been your favorite basketball memory so far?
My favorite basketball memory.
Yeah.
Um, Honestly, bro, I'm gonna give you two.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you two. Matter of fact, no. I'm gonna give you three.
Yeah.
The first one was beating Simeon 3 times in high school.
Yeah.
That's my first one. The second one was winning a college championship for Chicago State, the only championship ever in the school history. We got some nice rings for that. And
Right.
my third one would be as a professional, and they all good, bro. But getting drafted #1 in that Canadian League draft, we had to show up. They announced it through Twitter, and I was the #1 pick out of all of them guys there. To get that, it kind of like as a pro, it stamped me like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's awesome, man. That's a great feeling right there. And I can only imagine. So that's great that you had that experience. And
Yeah,
transitioning right to off the court, when you're not practicing and hooping in the games, what do you enjoy doing?
man, bro. I've always been the type of guy that be in the gym, bro, all day.
Yeah.
Like I was dealing with some things with my body because I trained so hard, bro. So I never been the go out and party guy, bro. I never been, and I go out, you know what I'm saying, with my teammates, or I go bowling and like I do stuff, but I've always been so locked in, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and that's all I've been able to do. But I'm starting to meet people, looking at stuff like modeling, bro, acting, um, maybe get another degree in something, bro, outside of the game. Like really, I'm really starting to open up to more things now because of the different people I'm starting to be with. But bro, I always just been locked in, bro, to be honest.
That's awesome. That's great though. And I like to end the show with, what's your why, right? What's your motivation every day to be the best person you could be on and off the court?
My family, bro,
Yeah.
how I came up, my situation, what happened to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like the reason why I call myself the dark horse, the reason why I got a chip on my shoulder, bro, is because when you're a guy, you got all the physical, you lack no physicality, you lack no skill, you really don't lack too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're a good person at heart. Yeah, man.
For sure, man, for sure. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to hop on here with me, Awell, and definitely look forward to seeing you continue to have a good professional career and kill it this upcoming year.
Man, love, bro. I appreciate you bringing me on, bro.